But it's still kind of disappointing that they made this, like, the core mechanic of that they advertised this whole expansion around, and it's just a mini-game from an old single-player, like, PS2 game. Basic dragon strategy in World of Warcraft: never stand in front of or behind the dragon.
First, we must activate the forge.
Obviously, this is the job for the Frost Death Knight.
Next,
Why did we need the coal if we were just going to use Dragonfire? Whatever. Oh, this bush? Oh. I'm weeding now. Awesome. Very epic hero stuff I'm doing after saving the world countless times. My job is to pull things I would not want to do in real life. Things that I suffered through as a lowbie, thinking, well, you know, how to do the scut work to earn people's trust when you're first starting out. But no, here I am, commander of legions, and I'm pulling beads and polishing somebody else's armor while they wear it, like a shoe shine of some sort. Sadness. Oh, I can get my abomination limb back. This is kind of sad, really. I'm, like, leveling up 10 levels to get back the abilities that I already had in the last expansion. Celebration noises! Celebrate good times, come on!
Has it been fun doing all of the new questy stuff?
Kind of neutral, really.
Oh!
Yeah, not super entertaining, but not, like, completely boring either.
Well, it's not completely boring. Just, like, slap that all over the magazine.
Right? That'll look good on the back cover of the box.
You could be having less fun.
It's possible to enjoy yourself less. As rated in VTuber magazine. Oh, become the eagle. Oh, literally become the eagle. Okay.
So how would you rate the expansion compared to other expansions?
It's pretty on par with, like, Pandaria, where,
That's
like,
a scathing review.
yeah, where, like, the lore doesn't really match up in a lot of cases, and there's just not really, like, I don't feel a very strong call to action or anything.
It just feels like they just wanted to add a cool new race, right? Like,
yeah, like, I mean, honestly, it also, leveling up feels really underwhelming, because with the new leveling system, not only do you actually feel weaker every time you gain a level because of the way that the mobs level up with you, and your gear falls further behind, but the talents that you're earning are basically earning back all of the stuff that you had in the last expansion as part of your legendaries, but now they're talents. So it feels like I'm struggling a whole bunch to get back to where I already was, which doesn't feel very good as far as an RPG is concerned.
oh no. If you had to do a full, like, a ranking of all of the expansions, like, what would your order be? Including, like, vanilla as, like, a separate one.
I mean, vanilla wasn't honestly that great, all things considered, compared to a lot of the other expansions and stuff. I think a lot of people overrate it because of the fondness that they had for it, and also because of the fact that it was so new and so groundbreaking at the time, which it definitely deserves credit for. But I think that as far as the content is concerned, it doesn't actually stack up all that well compared to a lot of what they're releasing today. You know, there wasn't really a lot there in terms of, like, story. There weren't a lot of, like, cinematic moments or anything like that. It was just kind of, like, lots and lots of clearing out caves full of spiders and dying to hordes of murlocs. Wrath is probably my favorite. BC had its problems, but it was still a lot of fun. Like, the extreme difficulty of it really brought people together, which had its own sense of appeal. And then later on, they kind of went the other direction with things where they went more towards Raid Finder and Group Finder and stuff, and you kind of lost that sense of community, but you gained a lot of accessibility in the game as a trade-off. Pandaria, I would say, was...
You skipped over Cataclysm.
Cataclysm was okay-ish. It was better than Pandaria. I'll give it that. It was
It clears the low hurdle.
yeah, it was probably around the same level overall as like BC, and then like Warlords. It had a couple of good systems and stuff, but the content overall was kind of so-so. The call to action was definitely a little bit better. Like, things felt like the stakes were decently high. The more recent expansion, like, I really liked the lore in a lot of cases, but they just made it too unbearably grindy in the early part of the expansion, and it completely lost me as a result. So, I guess you could call that kind of a balance issue, especially because they were trying to eliminate grinding and added more. So, I would say last expansion, lore-wise, one of the better ones, pretty close to, like, Lich King, but in terms of playability, definitely kind of dropped the ball a little bit and was probably closer to more of, like, a BC or a Cataclysm. And then this one, I mean, I can't fully judge it yet because I haven't fully leveled up, I haven't made it to endgame, I haven't played all the dungeons or anything like that. For all I know, all this could be leading to something really epic, but so far, the leveling experience at least feels a little underwhelming, and there's just a lot of moments that kind of bother me, that create a sense of ludonarrative dissonance. It's a complicated term to use, but...
No, I know what ludonarrative dissonance is.
Okay, but yeah, it...
doesn't have a story, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you made a game that's like, oh yeah, like violence doesn't solve your problems, but like the gameplay is exclusively using violence to solve problems with no repercussions.
And sometimes it's not even ludonarrative dissonance in this case, it's just narrative dissonance.
Oh no.
Yeah, because, like, and in some cases it's even kind of a bit of both. Like, the dragon riding is a good example of that, right? Like, the dragon riding, they're promoting it as, like, this big feature of the expansion, which is already silly because it was ripped out of a Spyro game. It doesn't feel great to begin with because we already had flying mounts in previous expansions, and they felt better to use than this does, at least in terms of their functionality. Narrative-wise, it doesn't even make any sense, because they didn't give us any reason whatsoever that our flying mounts don't work here. They just said that dragon riding is what you have to do now, and they kind of sold it to you as this almost like used car pitch about how great dragon riding is, that's being sold to you by a dragon.
Yeah.
The best explanation that they were able to give was that if you're riding this dragon, then you can be an extra set of eyes for the dragon.
But what? That's... You're not the dragon!
I know! But, and so it just doesn't make any sense that, like, they were trying to sell me on dragon riding. Like, I don't... Like, what's the story here? Like, are you, as a higher ranking dragon, just, like, enjoying bullying this lesser dragon by making me ride it? Or, like, what's going on?
I was gonna say as well, like, what if you are one of, like, the new dragon race?
Right? Like, what's the sales pitch then? I don't get it. Like, the whole thing would have made a lot more sense if it were coming from, like, one of the Wildhammer dwarves or something.
Oh, what if it's, like, if you're the dragon, like, race? You just turn into the dragon form and fly around.
Yeah, the Drakthir, yeah. I haven't played them yet, so I don't know how that intro scene goes as them. But I think it would be even funnier if they tried to sell you on dragon riding as yourself a dragon who is flying under your own power, and I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they did. But yeah, it's little things like that, and then like a lot of the quests where the type of quest you're doing feels like you're back to being like a random level 1 adventurer again. But then other quests, they treat you as this, like, big epic hero because of all your achievements in the other expansions. And, like, there's just this constant back and forth, even sometimes from the same characters, as to whether or not you're important.
Am I this, like, legendary hero that's, like, doing all this cool stuff, or am I, like, errand girl here to, like, clean up your ducks or whatever it is you were doing?
Yeah, no, like, literally, like, 1 second I'm this, like, hero who only, like, I'm the only one who can possibly save their eggs and whatever, and then the next they're like, oh, and by the way, can you tend to my garden?
Yeah, I've got a bit of a duck issue. Like, you're as good as just any exterminator.
You want to know one of what the, like, very first quests that they have you do when you come to the island is?
What?
It's, to sign a guest book in an inn.
Ah,
Yeah. And they're just so impressed because it's been so long since they've had visitors. But even that doesn't make any sense, because the storyline is that all the people on this island were frozen in time for the last, like, 2,000 years and don't remember any of it. So why would they care if it's been a long time or not? They weren't conscious. I guess this game sort of appeals to that, like, little kid urge to try to dig a hole through the center of the earth. Oh. Not as planned.
So is this just digging a hole to get ores for money?
Pretty much. Technically, the plotline is that there's supposed to be... You bought this house, and there's supposed to be a treasure chest full of gold coins buried in the yard somewhere, and you are on a mission to find it.
Does the game just end when you do?
I don't know. This is my first time playing it. I am Shovel. Reminds me of I am Weasel. Alright, time to try blowing myself up with dynamite. Oh yeah, that hurts. Okay, good to know. Not immediately fatal though, also important to know. My house, even if I never manage to find the treasure chest, is already a literal
Or
gold
maybe
mine.
the real treasure was the friends we made along the way.
For sure.
That's all for this episode. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, or join me on Twitch or Twitter. Hope to see you next time on Yukikaze Gaming. Botany!